Hello there, everybody. This is Fearmy Games here with the next episode of my Kingdom of Cimmeria Divide and Impera campaign. We left off last episode with the War of Colchis just starting off, and we are now preparing for battle against an army led by Colchis. We have the advantage here. Our army is better than their army. We have two whole armies under our control, and they have only one smaller army. So if we could take out Colchis with our forces, this is probably going to be their main army. So if we could take this guy out, we should probably have a clear path towards taking their next settlement and hopefully wiping them out before we have to deal with their second army that's just over there. Kind of a divide and conquer kind of situations. Let's get into the battle itself. I attack them, so we're most likely going to be on the offensive, though sometimes the AI attacks anyways. So we'll kind of see how it goes. We do have the cavalry advantage, because they only have 2 cav units, and I don't know how good theirs is going to be, but they're probably pretty similar in terms of strength. And we have more range units than them. And our infantry is better. So unless something just drastically horrible happens, this should be an easy victory for us. The only thing we need to keep an eye out on is just the way that the terrain goes for us. If we can have a battle about this section here in the open, then our archers will be in a better position to be able to fight. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use this open area real quick just to get our units in formation, and then I'm gonna move them a little bit more up. That way I don't have to worry about like seeing through the trees or anything like that. Alright. Hoplites ready. So we'll get these guys nicely ready to go. Probably about here. We're going to do that checkerboard formation, if you remember from the first episode, to try and make maximum use of our archers and be able to defend them from any attacks. Also, be able to maximize their ability to fire upon the enemy. I'm going to move these guys back just to get them out of the way. The baggage train, we're going to have to just make sure we baby to... Actually, what does the baggage train look like? I'm kind of curious. So it's kind of like... they're like cavalry, except not all of them are horsed. Though most likely they're like coded as if someone was riding them, I'm assuming. That's kind of interesting the way they designed it. I didn't look at it in the last battle. These guys nicely formed up. Phalanx is such a nice thing. Such a nice formation to have. Alright, so let's see how many archers do we have? We have 6 archers. Yep. I was like, wait, do we have 7 archers? No, we have 6. I had to take one to count for just a quick second. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we don't spread ourselves too wide. Archers at the ready. So at this point we have 2 options. One, I can try and move back more. I can do like 3 up front, 3 in the back or something like that. It kind of make it deeper, or I can make it longer. I think I'm going to go for making it longer because my units on an individual level will beat theirs pretty easily. So I think we can afford to be a little bit more spread out than the enemy is most likely going to be. Let's go 1 in this side too. And we'll have 1 unit of archers per, sorry, not 2 units of archers, 2 cav on each side. That way, because that way we can react to their cavalry, and whatever side that their cavalry ends up not being on, we can always do with it ourselves. So it looks like we have 2 units of spearmen left, of hoplites left. So we're gonna have this guy mostly on the flank to try and that way if they come around, these guys move in position, but they're also like decently close to the center. Same thing over here, and that should be probably a good formation for us. We're gonna keep the baggage train directly in the back here. They won't be able to really do much if someone attacks them, but it should hopefully at least can be here to help with the defense, that kind of thing. I don't know how much battle affects the baggage train, if I'm being honest. Let me lock for this group. The formation. You guys don't have wedge formation, right? Yeah, that's not something you guys have in ancient games, usually. I think maybe if they were a calf action. And now I'm going to move this army up. And then let's start moving our cav up too. We get you into the tree line. Oh, especially if we can get these guys hidden in the trees. That'd be really nice, actually. It looks like for some reason the baggage train refuses to be hidden. I don't quite know why not, but it's definitely unfortunate. Oh! We can see enemy armies right there, so we can actually move the army over here. And then we could shift over our cav as well to be a bit more on this flank. Still in the woods though, that way they have cover. And we can move these guys a little bit closer there. And that should be probably pretty good. And then what we'll just do is we'll just have these guys start advancing. So my reinforcements are going to come from the back. Yeah, they should stay in formation. And so like some will run if they need to stay in formation, while others will walk to stay in formation. They'll kind of like swap between them. Let's just walk you guys up there. That way you guys don't get tired before you need to be tired. Alright, let's get you guys in formation. I think if I double click that, there we go. I can get all of these guys grouped up here. And then you guys. And then you guys are just the citizens. I'll have you guys over there. And then you two just try to make your way over, I guess. Yeah, they'll make their way over there. I don't want them to be too crazy out of formation, so I'm just walking them as best I can. Yeah. They will catch up to the main army because the main army is walking up, so while these guys are all running, so it won't be the end of the world. And I'm going to have these guys aim to be going through the flank here. It's more of, make use of our superior numbers to, just flank the enemy as much as possible. And then these two, I'll group these guys together and have them go up there too. Once they get to a certain point, I'll start like walking them. Especially that way, the militia, which don't have as much stamina as the more elite Bosphor and Hoplites, they get tired faster, so we want to make sure they get enough time to kind of relax. So what we'll do is we'll just make this go a little bit faster. We'll fast forward as our army just calmly moves forward. Anyone not moving? No, everyone's moving along nicely. Marching. So let's see, these are our hoplites. They have a nice blue color scheme with different designs on their shield. Let me just look over here at these guys. This is the enemy over here. And these guys also have some decent designs. And these are the Jari. I think these are Levy Spearmen. Then we got their skirmishers. So these are Javelin men. Then slingers. Javelin men are probably the biggest threat because they have decent armor piercing, if I'm not mistaken. They at the very least do a lot of flat damage, which is good. And then here, I think is their better unit. No, these are more Jari. Then these ones are Greek. They're Greek infantry. These are a militia army as well. Not very strong, but better than like lower level stuff. So it's like that's one thing I like with DEI. They added an extra layer of militia units. Though I try not to use militia because I usually find like if I could afford even like a little less elite troops, then usually it's a bit better. Just because like per unit, it's just vastly different in terms of what level they can pull off. Just that dang slinger and their superior range is already peppering this hoplite, but thankfully they have yet to actually kill any of them. So. Because the shields are up, they're in formation. I believe Phalanx also increases their missile defense. He increases frontal defense. Doesn't say specifically against like any arrows. So, oh, surprise enemy units. Let's pause that. Alright, now is the time when we start flanking them. Look at that big, beautiful blob of enemies that I can just punish. I love it. So let's grab my cav. I think 2 still needs to be engaged. Let's start running those guys up. Doing a good job so far. I've just taken them out. The Greek citizens are 6. We're gonna send these guys in on these guys. The spearmen are getting in position almost. Let's see. Alright, we're getting some beautiful arrow fire into these guys from the flanks. Attack there. Gotta keep an eye out over here. What are these guys doing? These guys, this one's engaged in melee. This one is not. So these guys should start dying, because my boss front cavalry are better than them, but for some reason, my boss front cavalry are actually taking a lot of damage for some reason. So I gotta keep an eye on the situation here. Why aren't these guys attacking? Why are my cav not attacking when I order them to? I attacked those guys to attack there, but they didn't. They stopped moving for some reason, which is really weird. Is there a flank here? I see there's a flank there. You can attack. That cav is still doing a really good job against my cav, which is surprising. What's over there? Shattered Jari units. Why do these guys keep stopping their charge every time? I'm going to inspire. I should need to rally at this point, so I'm just going to move these guys in here. We get these guys out of Phalanx and start having them fire. Looks like our archers all ran out of ammunition. They did a great job though with what they've done so far. That one's shattered. It looks like we won the forest flank. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. Let's see. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, this battle's basically won. I'm going to pull them out just to be on the safe side. There we go. Let's clean up house now. I'm going to stop these guys from firing. Double click those guys, stop them. The ones that are still firing to stop firing. And right now I'm just going to do a little bit of chasing down the enemy that remains. Just a little bit of cleanup, not too much. Most of them are pretty much dead at this point. actually still firing. Usually back stops their fire will. Yeah, they don't have fire will on, so it's kind of strange that they're still attacking. Yeah, you can chase them down if you want to with your little daggers. That should be good enough. Nice, easy victory. We lost this unit, but I'm surprised how much damage he took considering he's only fighting a missile cavalry of a lower tier than him. So I'm not sure what happened here, but my general got a nice rear charge and killed a crap ton of stuff almost instantly. My archers did a great job getting a lot of shots off. And of course my hoplites did what they need to do. They barely took any damage. I think this hoplite here is the one that kept getting hit with missile fire. Which is why he's taking some damage, and everyone else basically took no damage because of how low tier the enemy infantry is. And I think this was the enemy's better army too, so yeah. The enemy killed apparently one of their own, and I apparently killed with my archer fire something else. Another about 28 of mine. One thing I like is that the kills and losses kind of thing, it kind of tells me, oh, I was my own worst enemy, wasn't I? That's enslave the captives. This is what you get for losing. Loser. This only has one unit remaining. Alright, so we're going to get this guy in position here to defend Mekshekta. Actually, this army is a little bit better. They have better hoplite units. I don't know what tier these guys are in comparison to mine. But they are... But they definitely look like they're could be threatening. But we have the numbers. We destroyed one of their armies, and I don't think they have... As far as I can tell, they do not have another army. So once I wipe out this army, I should quite effortlessly be able to take Armavir for myself. So I'm going to see if there's anything I can upgrade over here. It does not look like I can, unfortunately. Public order is actually starting to go down here, funnily enough. Slaves, I'm not really sure what happened. Let's see. Okay. So we will end turn, I think, because there's nothing else I can really do. Let me check diplomacy. Trade with me or you die next. Okay, you refuse to trade with me, so I'll kill you eventually. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Oh, my spy apparently has a new upgrade skill. So plus bonus, if she's accompanying somebody, they have better movement. A locked action assassinate, that's pretty nice to have. So basically, I'm gonna get this one first. That way she can I? Oh, I can't get this one? No, I'll get this one then. I wonder why this guy's just running his army around, doing nothing. It's kind of weird. Alright, we'll end turn. So there's nothing we can upgrade currently. And next, we'll see, will Colchis attack us, or will we have to attack them? Ideally, we'd have like a turn to replenish our troops if I'm going to attack them, but I think our superior strategic mind will be able to win out even with less numbers. And we have better units anyways. My men are stronger than their men. I'm confident of this fact. Yeah, it looks like the remains of that Colchis army is running off somewhere. As far as I know, they only have 2 settlements left. Fortunately, I wasn't able to stop them before they expanded further. Well, immediately I wasn't ready to make war on them until they had a little bit more settlements. So it's not going to be as quick of a war as I otherwise might have wanted. I can't tell if he was trying to camp or if he was starting to raid. It looked like an encamp. Encamp would actually give him a decent advantage. Sure, I'll take your trade. I'm not planning on making war with you anytime soon. There you go. Value of sight, and I've lost some influence. Because I tried to be nice and bribe her instead of kidnap her. This is what happens when you're nice to people. They try to backstab you. Alright, so this one gives bulletless public order. So, about the same amount of public order. This one gives me more wealth from farming. And more first and second. So these both get the same amount of first and second. So it's every plus 2 security against all agent actions. Reduced regional income. This one, same amount of regional income loss. So this one's more growth. And bonus unit replenishment versus public order. I'm thinking of getting the growth. Though this is a little bit farming. This give me about 20 more wealth from farming. I don't really have much in terms of farming though, so I don't in this settlement, so it's not gonna be as valuable as it could be. I'll get the one that gives me bonus more public order, I guess. Yeah, I guess so. So it looks like these guys seem to be in a fortify stance, which means they do have some defenses if I attack them. One thing I think I'm actually going to do is I am going to fortify and start replenishing a little bit. So that army is starting to rebuild. They have a small navy there. Do I have any military buildings in this settlement still? I do. So one thing I'm thinking of doing is making a second army, maybe a weaker army. That way I could start taking stuff while I have their main army hold up here. That might be the play, I think. So I have to do it from one of my generals here. I'll use this guy. So let's start recruiting. Is there anything I can't recruit? I can recruit here that I can't recruit there. I think these are the same level, aren't they? Yeah, they're the same level, so I don't need to prioritize anything in particular, but I think I might want to prioritize my archers based on terrain. I could be wrong, though. So, looks like I'm using up all of my Zenoi population. I might make 2 slingers when I can. We'll see what the population is down there. And then we might as well... So it looks like this max for 1 turn. I still want to keep him moving up to fastest if I can. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let's hope Tanais does not burn itself again. It's literally set itself on fire 2 times. Who are you? Do you have an upgrade? No, you don't seem to have an upgrade. How about you? Yes, you do. So I can make this better public order, better tax rate. I do like more taxes for me. But not in real life. In real life, I'm like, less taxes, the better. Can I give you something? Oh, you already have one. Okay, never mind. So you can give me more food, less banditry. Let's do that, and then we'll go for city governor. Perfect. Make me all the money. I'll need it to support a secondary army. Oh, I also need to build. I believe I could build a supply. Yeah, I can build a baggage train in this settlement as well, so I don't need to worry about it too much. All right, so we will end turn then. Man, now time is in our favor, as we'll have 2 armies soon enough in which to conquer the land. Yeah, let's see. Colchis will not be able to hold up when there's 2 armies to contend with. They can hardly hold against 1. If they were in a fortified stance, I would 100% try to attack, or even with my less than 100% troops. No, there we go. Now they're starting to move, which means they're probably not in fortified stance anymore, which means I can take them out. Now, what I'm going to try doing is moving into Phastus. Phastus has a different population than my home settlement does. So we'll kind of see what I can build compared to them. So I'll just move just over the border so I can get access to that population. And recruit more troops. I don't know if I'll have enough barbarians to make more archers in the new area, which is something I'm kind of curious about. So we'll find that out. Let's do. I wanted architectural advances. So these guys are still in fortified stance. They moved slightly. I am almost fully ready to go. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move a little bit too to block his path, so he has to go through me. And then I can attack him next turn with 100% of my troops. He's starting to try and make a navy again. I don't see the weak army over here anymore. Oh, there it is. It's actually in Armenia. How close are they? Armenia. They don't have any relations with Armenia. Well, that's kind of interesting. So they're trespassing Armenia. That probably is not making them all that happy. Faustus will have to be careful about getting attacked, but on the bright side, I am moving an army right next to it, so it should make it Faustus even harder to take for the enemy. Sorry. Looks like I do have some more options here. Well, at least not more, but different options here. I wonder how these guys compare. So they have Scythian archers. Oh, so there are more Scythian archers here too. A larger population because I didn't completely drain it. I wonder which one's better. So these guys have less melee. These have slightly less upkeep, slightly lower cost, lower morale, lower armor penetration. Basically, crap units compared to Scythia. So we'll go with Scythians. So these guys, I don't really want levies, so that's not going to be all that valuable to me. They're not very strong. Though, even though I do like the flavor, but if they're not better than my own troops, then we don't need them. Yeah, because these guys are not as good as Hoplites. Yeah, so we'll just go Hoplites then. Are these guys axemen? I'm kind of curious. If these are axemen, I might get some of these guys as a flanking force, because flanking is pretty useful. Though I might just use Cav for that in the first place. We'll kind of see. Now we can't really afford to upgrade any more. See, is there anything I could upgrade if I chose to do that instead? I could upgrade my storage room to be a bit better. If I wanted to not recruit some of these troops. Let me see if can I afford it? Not this turn, but next turn, unfortunately. Let's see, are my horsemen cheaper? No, they're not. How about baggage train? How about I get baggage train this turn, and then I'll get this as an upgrade. Perfect. Let me check the political situation just to make sure no one's having bad loyalty. Family relations. Kids are growing up. They're not all dead. Things I can do is declare an heir, and I can adopt somebody. But I don't really think it's worth adopting anybody right now. We do need to be careful that these guys, they have the highest influence out of the other factions. So we'll kind of keep an eye on him. Once he comes of age, we'll make him we'll name him heir. And start getting him into the military and stuff like that. We have one more turn, and we'll attack. Even though this game requires 2 turns to be healthy, I'd rather just kill that army and be done with them. You know what I mean? So it looks like the recruitment capacity in this settlement is lower than over here. So I might just go back over here and start recruiting stuff. I'm not gonna lie, with my minor case of OCD, Having one archer that's a different color than all the other archers is gonna drive me crazy slowly over time. It's like they're not all wearing the same color. Why you do this to me? Most likely, our next battle is probably going to be against Armenia. Either Armenia or I might go against Samandar and take over them and maybe make them another client state. And just make them both client states. And then before I attack Armenia, it basically kind of depends on whether or not Armenia is going to make war on me. If Armenia makes war on me, then I'll deal with that first. But if they don't, then I want to try and prioritize taking them out because I could probably extract some money out of them and get them into the war with me. So yeah, it can at least be a convenient distraction for the enemy. With my level of income, I can't recruit too many troops to churn anyway, so I guess the bigger difference of population isn't all that important. I want to make a if I wanted to get cheap units, I could definitely and get an army out faster. And this is not a bad idea, especially considering not going, and then recruit the better units later on. Might be something I think I'm gonna do. Alright, so these guys are kind of getting a little antsy. I think they're still in fortify stance. They are reducing. They're taking out my food. They are foraging right now. Which means they do have lower morale. It looks like.
Ready for battle.
I wonder if this starts going down more and more.
Commander.
All right, I'm gonna try attacking. This is going to be a bit of a harder battle, I think, just because of the because of the nature of things. They are in a more defensible position. So part of me wants to just retreat rather than attack. I have better units than them, but that doesn't mean too much. Especially because it looks like he's just outside of garrison reinforcement range. He has no archers, though. I think I might be able to win this through using the fact that I have a lot of archers and they have no archers. I will just need to be careful of traps, though. Let's say superior stratagem will be able to be enough for victory. What we'll try to do is I'll try to focus fire down as many units as I can with archers. Once I'm completely out of ammunition, or maybe they attack me. If they attack me, then they attack me. But if I can, I want to try and use my archer advantage and just fire into them and weaken them before my melee infantry have to start going to battle. So, can I see any traps around here? I don't see any obvious traps. Ideally, what I would do is I'd send my cav around the flanks and try and threaten them and, causing problems. I don't have any artillery or the like to take out their towers. I will have to contend with that. But it's not the end of the world. So they have more melee troops than I do. So I kind of have two options. One, I can try and go for two flanks by splitting up my troops evenly. Why can't you guys... Oh, let's move over here. By doing that, it does split them up, and it does, and my units will be able to kind of chunk them down, and it will leave one opening for my cav to try and go in, which is not a bad idea in my opinion, so we'll kind of be careful. But it will also depend on whether or not they have an advantage there. Then this unit's main job is to try and be the big threat and have my archers kind of be over here, firing into them once they're all... And probably need them in loose formation. Do we have a loose formation here? For these guys, looks like they don't have a loose formation. I was thinking about trying to get them in a loose formation. And we'll start battle. There's always a danger when you split up your troops that if the enemy does come out to attack you, then your army is split. Yep, the army is split, and now they're coming to attack. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these guys set up in a why that's not the formation I was telling you guys to do. The AI sometimes does this, but you know, they don't always do enough that I expect it. But it's definitely not a bad thing for me that they're doing so. So all I need to do is reposition my troops into a decent formation. So these guys aren't going exactly where I want them to be in terms of like positioning. It's for some reason like the pathing of it is being a little off compared to where I want it to be. I'm gonna try to get these guys here as fast as I can. Again, now I'm getting my archers into position. Let me just get my general outside of the tower range. They're going to take a couple hits. I don't think anyone's going to go down, though, yet. General's not quite out of the tower range like I keep ordering him to. Unfortunately. There we go. Now he's outside of tower range. Let's see if these guys are able to kind of cause them some harassment. The enemy is not advancing, which is allowing me to get into position and be more ready for them. I'm going to reposition these guys slightly to make it a little bit better of a formation. There you go. Good job. I fell back my archers in a decent, make it deep. That way, because like I can't make my line all that long. Due to the fact that I had, spearmen spread out. What's nice is that they're also going to be at the very edge of the tower range once the melee actually begins. I'm going to try and keep these guys honest. With my chart by sending these guys in a little bit to try and scare them off. Alright, these guys are trying to take some fire. Move, man! I'm actually surprised they haven't fired into my hoplites, and so, even though because their shields are not pointed at the enemy right now, which means that it's actually would be super bad for me if they started to fire into the group. You two, I'm going to have you guys fall back through there, and then I'm going to start moving my archers around to make use of the fact that the lines are now extending. General, you and the other guy can go over here for me. You two can stay right there. Keep it on that flank. Baggage train, just stay in the back, please. Alright, these are almost in position. That one's in position, so I'm going to set it to Phalanx now. Let's start speeding things up so this goes a little bit faster, why don't we? But it is very nice of the AI to wait for me to get ready. Very nice of them. Alright, those guys are moving fast. I'm not too... These guys' exact positioning isn't all that important. I'm actually going to keep this one more on this flank, too. Alright, everyone is in position, except these two, but these two are the least important to it, technically, when it comes to their exact positioning, so... Alright. These guys mostly is just to make sure there's no surprise flanking attacks, kind of a thing, you know. So they have a lot of missile cav. I actually expected they were going to be melee cav, but I was wrong. Alright, let's start moving up as a flank. We'll start going in normal just to make sure we can keep an eye on the situation. You guys can walk. Walk though, don't run. I'm gonna keep these, you know, with the troops, because if they're by themselves, they can potentially be threatened by even just the missile cav coming around, and there's not too much they can do about it. But if they're near the army, then they won't be too poor. You know what I mean? So it looks like, yeah, this one took a little hit, but it's not the end of the world. Let's see, they have the front line is their heavy phalanx, so they're heavy, mine are heavy. So basically these are hopefully about equal, though it says they're elite, so they might be, so these guys might be better in terms of pure, like, hoplite to hoplite combat, if that is the case. But there's only 4 of them compared to my many hoplites, so we'll see how, you know, kind of goes in that front. They have like a few elite and then like a lot of weak infantry, while I have a lot of like medium to good infantry. There's some javelin men, more of the Greek militia units. More Greek militia. Yeah, basically outside of these 1, 2, 3, 4 units, they're pretty weak. Although there's this one that's not too bad. This one's their general. It's actually a little bit weaker. So, looks like the enemy is now charging, now that my archers are in range and started firing. I'm going to order these guys to stop.
Ready for battle! Step, archer! Hoplites! Yes, commander! Double time! We await your command! Hoplites! Ready for order! Orders! Right, Gushu!
I'm going to fall this unit back because they kind of advanced a little too greedily, I think. Yeah, those are some nice blobs in which I can charge my units into. Charge! Doing a nice job firing into the blobs. These guys are trying to flank, so I'm gonna counter their flank with my own units. It's actually perfectly positioned now for my archers just fire right into their behind, so I'm very happy to do that. You know, I always appreciate an opportunity to kind of kill the enemy because they do something stupid. This did get a flanking charge, but they flanked into my phalanx units who were, I think they're still, well, they weren't even phalanx, but the general attack. I thought he was actually running. He was not, in fact, running, so it kind of was a bit unfortunate there. Alright, let's keep it on this flank. I think we killed all of the ones over there, so let's run around a bit more. Archers are firing perfect there. You are doing fine. You guys just keep up the sandwich there. What are you guys doing? My hoplites are starting to get flanked, however, so I do need to keep an eye on that. Let's get off a decent rear charge here. Let's get you guys out of phalanx, though. Oh, no, I didn't want to select you. Where is the cav unit over here? There it is. Being lazy is what it's doing. I have to be kind of careful there. You don't run. If they're moving away, then you kill them. Where is my general? Oh, why is my... Oh, because he was chasing that cav unit, wasn't he? We get this guy out of combat. You are got yourself stuck in combat. You are also got yourself stuck in combat. I ordered one of you guys to attack, and then you guys didn't. It really annoys me when you do this to me. So let me fall these guys back. You guys are getting a nice fire barrage. You guys, your target's dead, so let me reposition you guys to fire. Perfect. Let's move you guys over. You guys are doing just fine. Just keep up the rear charges. That one's gonna break, it looks like. Now this blob should break soon. They're so completely surrounded now, and have enemies just peppering them. Can I get concentrated fire right there? That'd be perfect. I actually had one break. Oh, that was probably one that was getting flanked, wasn't it? Yeah, that was right. Charge, General, charge! Oh, these cav are just sitting there because I'm not controlling them properly. Good job there. Continue the squeeze. Oh, what? Oh, my general's doing a weird thing to get that guy. Oh, well, it's fine. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Getting some nice charges off. That's broken. That's winded. That one's not really a threat anymore. Got a nice rear charge off there. Perfect rear charge. I'm gonna get another rear charge here. Alright, looks like damage is stopped. Oh, that one's gonna rout. Let me try and charge them and get another side to charge them too. Where's my general now? Finish him. There we... Oh, it's still wavering. I thought it was not wavering anymore. It looks like our units are holding in this kind of formation perfectly good. Fine. Let's hit these units over here. Now this unit's kind of been encircled. I'm gonna fall. Gonna fall these guys back because they're no longer in an opportune position to kill them. But we just wiped that unit out. This unit's kind of stuck in there. Can we get it out? Yeah, we can. Okay. Good charge off there. The way that the lines are kind of formed up right now is kind of strange. That was a good rear charge there. Good job, General. Let's fall back and we'll cycle charge him. Ah, he's dead. That was a good charge. Let's fall back. Are they still facing? They're kind of being a little jank. Let's follow up with another rear charge. They should start breaking due to army losses. Yeah, they started breaking. I do want to try and like punish these guys a bit more. They may have run away, but we still need to kill them all. But there, it was very nice for the AI to move outside of their defenses and allow me to just, just like kind of slaughter them open field. Oh, we have this nice fort that we built. Let's leave this fort and attack. Big brain strats is all I can say on that one. One unit got pretty heavily wounded, but that was mostly just the way the formations got kind of weird towards the end, as like they kind of found some holes in which to exploit, and they kind of like moved in, but due to the way the phalanxes kind of like have to move, they kind of like they're just a little awkward. Yeah, we had some hero units that did a lot of work for us. Some archers got a lot of kills, others not very much. I wonder why some archers didn't get a lot of kills. They all maxed out the ammunition, but some of them got a crap ton of value and some got barely any value. But we definitely had the archer advantage. They had a lot of infantry, so they could use that to flank. They didn't do the best job of it, but thankfully, like my hoplites held the center enough, and which were their elite units, just enough that the weak units on the flanks were able to be squashed, and I just encircled them. Kill the captives. Weakness. We'll just follow up, auto-resolve, kill them real quick. Let's be protective stance, I guess, just to minimize our losses. She knows, sorry. It was enslaved the survivors. Now we got some more traditions. Can I upgrade any of these? No. So let's do... Not bad. Defenses, that is pretty nice, but... Not sure how important that really is. Bonus morale and attack. I like that. I do like all of these. Let's do this one. Formidable Spearman. Then let's do this bonus replenishment. And then let's get increased armor and ammunition. I like that. Because we tend to run out of ammunition before the battle's over, so any chance to kind of, make that a little less bad, the better it is for us. So I'm going to move these guys over to Mitsha. That should hopefully make punishment better. Let me kind of check. 4 versus 4. Doesn't really say it's going to increase the decrease amount of time. Does this affect replenishment? This does affect replenishment, so let's do that. These guys are now... Wait. What? Oh. Oh yeah, it does actually be in the city. It does make it go faster. Never mind. Never mind. Alright, I was a little wrong there. I was a little wrong, okay? Just a little bit. Alright, let's end turn. So we defeated the armies of Colchis, but we are not in a position yet to take on the remaining 2 settlements. We should hopefully, in just a couple of turns, be able to take out Armavir. So we're now at war with Armenia. I'm not actually trustworthy, believe it or not. Alright, so now we have to worry about the armies of Armenia and the armies of Colchis. Not something I was expecting to happen, but I mean, like, I was hoping that I would have like the time to deal with Colchis a bit more before I had to deal with Armenia, and give me like a couple turns to like get ready, to ready myself. But it looks like they're the ones who declared war on me, which will make things a little bit more awkward. But I think we should be fine. I don't know how good their armies are, or how many armies they have. They seem to be a pretty big. They seem to have pretty big. They seem to be pretty big in terms of like how many cities they have. So we'll kind of see how it goes. Now Saracena finally has use for those armies that are just wandering around doing nothing. Too bad I couldn't get Samandar on my side too, to try and get them to join the war and fight. But you know, it happens. It happens. Not everything goes to plan, sadly. But we'll kind of see what the situation is. Subversion. How rude. Alright, so now we have an enemy army just outside the border. It is a full stack, however, Armenian spearmen are not as good as my own units, so we'll kind of see what they got going for them. They do have some nice armored horse cav. Armenian cav should be better than our cavalry, so that is one thing to keep in mind. A faction encountered. Oh yeah, they're little slave. Alright. I'm gonna put this, scroll this down here while I'm talking. While I finish things off. We will be ending here with this episode. We didn't do a whole lot of progress in terms of land conquest, but we did defeat 2 full stacks of Colchis army, completely removing them as a military force. Unfortunately, before we could make use of this fact, Armenia has now declared war on us, which means that Colchis may have a chance to rebuild an army. Probably not going to be very strong, mind you, but strong enough that I have to destroy them, you know, in a big staged battle. And Armenia is probably going to be our first big threat in this campaign, as they are another major faction, and they seem to have a decent amount of territory. But we will find out exactly how the war goes in the next episode of our Divide et Impera campaign. Have a good one, everybody. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. Total War 4 days a week, Guild Wars 1 day a week. Kind of a lopsided thing, but I don't care. I like Total War and I like Guild Wars 1, so let's combine them all and have some fun. Alright? Bye, everybody.